Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. Um, I have a message for Pastor David Ibiyomie. I saw his post on the Guardian's website, and I said I should address it. First of all, I'm not happy with Pastor Ibiyomie. Up until now, he hasn't given an apology to my mom. Um, After he said all those things he said, and it would be nice if he gave an apology. People make mistakes every day, and when you make mistakes, you should be able to own up to them. It would show that you're not trying to be a god or trying to be bigger than everybody else. You made a mistake, it was a mistake. Like I don't hold it against you, but it would be so much better if you can apologize. Now, here's what he was quoted by the Guardian newspaper as saying. So I got this from the Guardian's newspaper, the Guardian's Instagram handle. And there was a heading that says, "Developed mind, not fasting and prayer, will take you out of poverty." In as much as, like I said earlier, I'm not particularly happy with Pastor Ibiyomie for what he said about my mom about a year plus ago, I cannot run away from the truth in this particular post. And it is something I've been saying for a very, very long time. We need to understand that prayer is good. It's a great spiritual exercise. It works well for your spirit. It helps you. People need to be careful. Even in the salvation equation, there's no prayer. Prayer is in the spiritual equation, not in the salvation equation. You don't need to pray to be saved. All you need to do is accept Christ as your Lord and Savior and obey Him. You don't need to fast or pray for your salvation. What you fast and pray for is for your spiritual growth. We need to separate things like salvation, spiritual growth, and physical and financial growth. We need to separate these things. And unfortunately, many church leaders have lumped everything together as one. Just pray and fast, you can make heaven. Just pray and fast, your spiritual growth will be intact. Just pray and fast, God will bless you financially. No. You see, until Nigerians get to the point where they become innovative, this future would continue to elude us. Let's take a look at countries who were independent, who got their independence around when we got our independence. There's no way we can deny Singapore that got their independence 5 years after us. Singapore is a Buddhist nation. They didn't pray their way into success. I watched so many documentaries on Singapore. Singapore focused on infrastructure, education, modernization, industrialization. And by 1990, they were already stable. Today, they're one of the most prosperous nations in Asia. 5 years younger than us. What about the United Arab Emirates? The United Arab Emirates, or the UAE, got their independence 11 years after us in 1971. I remember in the 90s, they came and begged us for investment in the desert. We said, why would we invest in the desert? The desert today is far better than the city we were when they were a desert. And they didn't get, they're Muslims. So you see, whether you're Buddhist or you're Muslim or you're Christian or you're pagan, at the end of the day, the growth of your mind is what transcends into physical and financial growth. Even if you're atheist, even if you don't believe that there's anything like God, as long as you plant maize, you put fertilizer, you give it sunlight, and you add water, the maize will grow. It's a principle. Now, it's not just about growing the maize, it's about what you can use maize for. If you can use maize for food, you solve an immediate problem. But David Ibiyomie is saying, think, what if you can use maize for fuel? You solve a major global crisis. Think about it. Turning maize or millet into a type of fuel automobiles can run on is solving a global problem. And how do you get that? Innovation. Where's the innovation born in your mind? Your mind is the solution to your problem. And you can pray. You see, prayer can come in because through prayer you can get a revelation. But prayer ends in the revelation equation. Innovation, adaptation, utilization are what transcends into the success equation. So I'm happy that a pastor is actually coming out to say this, because whether you like it or not, Nigeria is a very religious country and people listen to religious leaders. So if we have more religious leaders, let's put our differences on doctrine aside. Whether you agree that we pay tithe or not, I have my own doctrine grounded in the Bible, they have theirs. But you see, we can all agree on one thing and help push our country forward. Because even this tithe that you want, if the people are not making money, they will not be able to tithe. If the people continue struggling at everything they do, they can't eat. Big shout out to Dr. Gozie. How are you doing, my dear doctor friend? As long as the people are struggling, the tithe too will suffer. We in the Free Nation don't believe tithing is part of Christianity. Absolute zero. But you believe it is. And the more you can empower your people to be financially buoyant, the easier it will be for them to tithe. Right now, let me tell you, Nigerians are considering tithe. Oh, if they don't pay tithe, they will not make heaven. Let them eat first. Heaven is later. Religion is going to be put on the back burner should the situation in Nigeria get worse, because people are going to want to eat and you can't pray food. You can't pray your house rent. At the end of the month or the year, your landlord is going to come knocking and you need money. So this is the time when church leaders need to put their differences aside on all levels and come together and encourage their members to start thinking about innovation. I was watching Apostle Suleiman's video the other day. He said, look, bring a business idea. He sent it to me today by WhatsApp. Bring a business idea. We will support it. I was let me look for it. Apostle Suleiman send it to me today by WhatsApp. Just listen to this part of it, and I was happy with this.
Capacity. We're going to help you. Write your name. Write what you want to do, and what you think we can support you with. Don't enter a business you have not learned. Don't enter a business because you like it. Even if you have a passion, you must understand the profession. Are you following what I'm saying? You may want to sell hair because you think hair is attractive. If you do not know what is involved, you run at a loss. So you must understand it and study it first.
So he was saying, he just sent it to me. I was like, wow. He said it in front of all his congregation. If more pastors in Nigeria can emulate this formula. Someone said, you have apostles. Apostle is my brother and I have his WhatsApp. He's my brother now. And I sent the message back to him. I said, I'm so proud of what you are doing with this. This is what the church in Nigeria today needs. The church in Nigeria needs to invest in the people. Now, tomorrow, you'll be amazed that you build a shop for somebody, or you open a hairdresser salon for someone, and that person blows. And tomorrow they come and buy private jets. That is why sometimes in these private jet doctrines, I'm very, how do I put it? My problem is don't use tithe and offering to buy private jets. That's my own. If somebody comes to gift you a private, you don't know what you've done in some people's lives. You told some people, don't spend that money, invest it, and they went to invest it, and 10 years later they have $10 million, and they decide that, look, my pastor is driving a 2013 car, why is he not driving a 2020 car? And he go and buy you a 2020 car. As long as you don't sow it into their seed, that if they don't bring that car, God will punish them, or their blessings will be held back. As long as, because people will actually grow from this. And if every church member, every pastor teaches the value of innovation, industrialization, investment, we have seen that our government is not doing anything for us. Our government is not doing anything for us. We have seen, it's not 5,000. They said they want to increase fuel and give us 5,000. 5,000 for what? Already in this current situation, I spend more than, there's no car in my house that 5,000 naira can fill the tank. None. I have a car that if I drive to the filling station with empty tank, if I never spend 18,000 or 15,000, the tank no go full. So you know that they've left you. They didn't give you pipe-borne water. You have to dig your own borehole. They've not provided electricity for you. You have to provide your own electricity. My own estate, for instance, we provide our own electricity. That's why sometimes you see the light coming and going. We're switching power. They've not provided security for you. That's why we have our own security. Abroad, you don't need to get security guards. So what makes you think they'll provide the investment platforms for you to grow? You have got to do it for yourself. And in a situation where you are not powerful enough, you lean on an already powerful institution, which in my humble opinion is the church. And if the church right now can decide to give back, not only financially, also empowering people, telling them that, look, go and think. Go and sit down and come with a plan. Someone says he wants to hear that Apostle Suleiman's video again. Okay, I will play it for you. Where is it again in my WhatsApp?
What God expects a church to be is a place where everyone is happy, where the needs of everybody is met.
Acts chapter 4 verse 32.
I was not happy over certain things I see about the church. You know, there's a church where some people are very rich, some are very poor. Some are eating, some can't feed. So Mama and I, it gives us concern all the time. So we said we're going to help people. But we found out something. That most people that you are feeling for don't feel for themselves. We will support anybody who wants to do something. When people tell you to bring proposals or they want to do something for you, understand that they are not stupid. And whenever you meet people who see favor as opportunity for exploitation, don't help them. Because no matter what you do, they will not be grateful. So for those of us who want to go into little business, we want to start something, we want to start a business, little capacity, we're going to help you. Write your name, write what you want to do, and what you think we can support you with. Don't enter a business you have not learned. Don't enter a business because you like it. Even if you have a passion, you must understand the profession. Are you following what I'm saying?
So that's it basically. For those of you, and this makes a lot of sense. We in the Free Nation have helped people. I've learned it the hard way. Tastebuds warned me. There were some 3 boys that we helped, you know, to build shops and all. They couldn't run them. We tried. I asked them, what can you do? They said, we can do this. At the end of the day, they couldn't do it. Meanwhile, Edwin, that we bought a bus for, Edwin was in traffic the other day. I was trying to move and his bus blocked me. And he came out and he was so grateful. I was like, that's my boss. I met Edwin driving a bus. So when the Free Nation came together and contributed the money for Edwin's bus, we were helping somebody who already knew the business. So 1 year later, he still has his boss, he still has his livelihood, and he's still doing well. This makes a lot of sense. And like I said earlier on, the church should help people, not just by supporting them financially, but helping them also open their minds to realize that the solution to their problems lies in two places: their heads and their hands. So that's my message to Pastor David Ibiyomie, even though small stray bullet meet Apostle Suleiman inside. But all well and good. And guys, I'm going to come right back because you will not believe it too. One pastor shaded some non-entities over tithing. Who is it? We'll find out when I come back in just 2 minutes. I'm not going to mention his name. But Koza. Oh, wow. Did I go there? All right. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you stay blessed.